Yeah. Welcome back to Tom's Garage again. Honda GCV190 on a pressure washer. You can't pull it hardly. That thing will rip your fingers off. And I got an idea about what it is. He says, but Tom, it's brand new. It's hardly ever been used. Well, it looks like it's brand new. So let's delve into this thing and see what's going on with it. I already got an idea. I've got an idea of what it might be. All right. Let's pop this cover off and get it out of our way. We're going to get that valve cover off right there. Yep, we are. Well, that thing is like brand new, never been used. And that's probably why. You can't crank it. I'm gonna lay this thing just like that. I'm gonna lay it just like that. That way all the oil stays back down there. Let's see. Get this valve cover off. Okay. I just don't enjoy taking these valve covers off Hondas. Boy, they are on there good. Let's see if I can do this without destroying it. Let me get my heat gun. It's kind of cold. I'm gonna try to heat that glue up on there. If I can remember what I did with my heat gun. That's what happens when you got too many drawers around here. You can't find nothing. Boy, I wrapped that thing up too tight last time. Hurry up. Whew, that ain't good. That ain't good. How far will this thing reach? Do I need a drop cord? Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Slide it over here. Take a little Mr. Heat gun. Put it on medium. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Uh-oh, I'm pulling the plug out of the wall. The cord is so cold. I'm gonna have to get it real good and warm. I'm gonna put it on high. Uh-oh, unplug it again. Put on the plug. Oop, get off that plastic. Yeah, it's getting pretty warm to the touch now. First thing I'm gonna do is check the valve clearance. I just want to make sure I don't have a stuck valve somewhere, or maybe the adjustments, maybe something's come loose in there or something. Something's going on. This thing being brand new, it probably got jostled around pretty good in shipping, whatever store they sent it to. Craftsman, they probably bought it at Lowe's, I'm sure. But something happened to it. Something certainly happened to it. Oh yeah, that's pretty warm. Oh, we got her nice and warm now. That glue ought to let go a little easier. A little easier, but not easy. Let's see, I'll use one of these wood chisels. I'll use, let's see, what can we use? I'll use this one too. This one's a little smaller. I can just get it to stick my head in there and find a good place to pry. I need to make sure I got some sealer. A little hammer. If I can just get between it and the metal. There we go. That looks pretty good. Careful. I'm using it like that. So it's going under the valve cover, but it's prying off the aluminum block. Careful. Try not to hurt the mating surface of the aluminum. A little bit. Ooh, I'm gonna have to do a little straightening out on this valve cover. There we go, it finally broke loose. Looks pretty good. I'm gonna have to do some straightening anyway. Ooh, that's some strong stuff. All right, let's see what's going on with this valve train here. Valve train. All right. Huh. Intake valve is good. Exhaust valve feels pretty good. Everything looks good. Looking at the rocker arm, I don't see no stress fractures in it. Let me get my flashlight. Everything looks good. All right, let's bring this thing to top dead center on the comprehension stroke and check the valve clearance. The intake should be 6 thousandths and the exhaust should be 8 thousandths. See, this engine doesn't have a flywheel brake. It doesn't have a bell cable, zone control cable, and a flywheel brake. It don't have none of that. It's just a pressure washer. It's just got an on-off switch. So I knew that wasn't a problem. Okay, let's spin this engine top dead. That's top dead right there. Both valves are closed. Let's do another 360 and see which one. All right. Exhaust valves open. Now we're going to come into the intake stroke. I just seen the exhaust valve bump, compression release, and we are at top dead center on the compression, on the comprehension stroke. Now let me get my failure gauges. Let's see, we need a failure gauge. This one doesn't go down to 6 thousandths, but it's got a 8 thousandths, which I didn't know good. I'm gonna grab another one that's got a 6 thousandths. Okay. 25, 4, 3. There's 6 right there. Let's check the intake. That feels pretty good. It's got a little bit of drag when you pull it out. Okay. Now let's switch over to the 8 thousandths. That's what the exhaust wants to be. There's 8 right there. 0.008. That actually feels pretty good too. Huh. That's just a little on the tight side, but that's good though, as far as compression release. Okay. All right, rolling the compression stroke, spinning the engine around. All right, now we're going back up into the exhaust stroke and into the intake stroke. And you'll see the bump right on that exhaust valve coming up on the compression stroke. There it goes, little bump. And that's top dead center. Okay, on the compression stroke. But that feels pretty good. I want to inspect. The valve cover is what holds this in. I want to inspect that rocker arm. It looks good. Sometimes if the compression release ain't working right and you yank it hard enough, this thing can break right in here. That looks pretty good. Let me check the intake. Put that back on there. Inspect the intake. That looks pretty good. Nothing's wrong with that. Valves ain't sticking. I could have sworn we were going to have a valve issue, but everything looks good. Everything looks real good. The timing's not really off or nothing. The cam looks good. The lobes are there, or the lobe. Huh. Well, as far as the valve train goes, it looks good. Let me hit pause. We're going to get this thing cleaned up. We're going to clean that up. We're going to get that valve cover gasket glued back on there. Y'all hang with it. We'll be right back. All right. Well, I got the valve cover put back on and resealed. Didn't see any problems in the valve train, but evidently there was. Something was sticking. Something wasn't right. So now you can pull it over. Must have been something we did, taking it apart. So, I know this thing's been sitting for a while. Whatever that last little bitty bit of fuel left in the fuel tank, it looked like it was stale. This carburetor does not have a drain plug, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna loosen that bowl nut and drain whatever's left in there, and hopefully we can put some fresh fuel in it and get it to run. I sprayed some carb cleaner in there and it hit and died, but the fuel tank was empty, so let me grab a 10 millimeter, put my pan back over there, and let's see if any kind of nastiness comes out of that carburetor. Yeah, that's pretty nasty. We might turn this into another carburetor cleaning video. Even a hard to start video turns into a carburetor video. I'm just gonna let that kind of dribble. Dribble, dribble, dribble. Let me go ahead and just take this bowl all the way off. I want to see. I'm going to look at the bottom of this plug right here. Yeah, that's going to have a bunch of nastiness in it, I'm afraid. Yeah, that's going to have some nastiness in it. Shoo, I can smell it too. Let's go ahead and just turn this into another carburetor cleaning video. I ain't going to trust that. I'm not going to put fresh fuel in it and have this thing surge. Because look at that nastiness. Yeah, let's do that. It won't take just a minute. Just a few minutes. Okay, let's see. We'll put the nut over there. Let me grab my favorite carburetor cleaning pan. Woo! Yay! See how fast we can do this. Well, let's see how fast we can do this. I got to clean that secondary idle circuit, and I want to clean that emulsion tube and main jet. Grab my needle nose. Get this crankcase vent hose unplugged from the filter housing. These things always stick. There we go. There we go. Of course, don't lose that. That fell off. Whew, boy, I can smell that. Mercy, mercy. Mercy, mercy. Get that clamp slid back a little bit. Brake extraction. Give it a pull. I may need a screwdriver. Yeah, there we go. Get it. And let's see. I need to pull both of them up like that. Take them off at the same time. Get that spring off of there. Pow. Yeah, I can see that main jet right there. It's going to be nasty. It's gonna be nasty. We're gonna have a runner. Another carburetor cleaning video. Ooh, nasty. Sometimes these are loose and sometimes these things are tight. Yeah, okay, we got that one off. I usually have to put this thing in a vise to hold the carburetor while I put both arms on that screw head right there. Okay, got that off. Squirt a little bit up in there. Oh yeah, look at that nastiness. It's nastiness. I can see it coming out there. Okay. Clean the bottom of that off. Oh, let's see, we'll give it a little squirt in there. A little squirt in the vent there. Okay. Give a little puff. Okay, let's see. Hold it up to the light. It looks like it's got a little bit of clog in it. Tell you what I'm gonna do real quick. Because I know I'm fixing to poke myself with this thing. Look how sharp that is. It's like a hypodermic needle. Okay, now that's not so sharp. Man, I had to do that. My buddy John told me to do that. And that's one piece of advice I will take. This is the best little pokey tool in the world right here, I'll tell you that. Get in the hole there, boy. Remember when you was a kid, your grandmother would be over there sewing? She said, "Here, Tommy, thread this needle for me." I used to be good at that. I used to love threading my grandma's needles. All right, let's get her back together. Get her back together. Somebody asked me the other day, how do you know? Well, see, the emulsion tube on the bottom is nice and flat where it meshes so perfectly with the main jet when you screw it and tighten it in. And see, this end is a little bit skinnier and a little bit longer. This is what sticks up in the bottom of the carburetor when you look through the throat. The wind blows across that and draws it just like, you know, just like the wing of an airplane. Wing of an airplane. You ain't got to get real tight, just give it a little snuggie. Because one day somebody's got to take it back apart again. Little snuggie. Put the needle back on. I just lost the needle. Well, I'll tell you, these things right here can get aggravating sometimes when you try to put it in. Because this little rib, it grabs the side of the seat tube and it just pulls it off, and you're trying to do it all in one swoop. See how it wants to grab the edge, and they'll just pull it right off. But we got lucky that time. We got lucky. Just like that. Okay, let's clean this bowl real quick. I'm gonna try not to disturb that gasket. And be careful, because this thing is stamped, and that little ridge around that opening right there is like a razor. I've cut the tip of my finger so many times using it to clean bowls. That's all you want to do is get that nastiness out of there. Just wipe it clean. Wipe it clean, boy. All right, hey, I got parts coming in. I can start on that major project video today. Yay! I forgot to hit pause. I have to edit that out. The pile, set of blades. Set of blades for a mower. Okay. All right, let's put her back together. First thing I'm gonna do is get the spring on there. Pile, throttle linkage, pile, and choke. Let me get this straight now. You pull it back to choke. So it's going to have to go in this front hole. Front hole, money hole. All right. Let me give that fuel tank a little puff of air. I want to make sure that fuel line's clear. Ooh, look at the nastiness that was left in there. Yikes. All right. All right, all right, all right. Now it's got to go like that. Get it in the little holes. Get it started by finger. And while you can, go ahead and get the crankcase vent tube hooked back up. And it is. Make sure all the gaskets hadn't fallen down. And both of those are started by finger. Get that wire out of there, put it back where it needs to go. Fish this back out here. That needs to come up through here. Get it stuck back there behind that. This is the kill wire going to the coil. Put it back under the little thing right there that holds it. Just like that. Good enough. Turn the table. Now we'll get some fuel. Get some fuel, my lover. Go to the side here. Hot dog, get it, boy. All right, fuel on. Let that be filling the bowl. Filling the bowl. All right. I'll tell you, I made a mess over here. Okay, that should be time. Plenty of time to fill the bowl. How much fuel do we give them? Pretty good bet. I've already checked the oil. It looks perfect. Looks brand new. On. Make sure the choke works, and it do. Just fire it up and see. Good enough. I don't want to run it too long without water. But I will take it out there and hook the hose to it and let it run for a few minutes. Yep. Well, all right, boys and girls. I don't know what we did to the valve train. I about said drive train. Don't know what we did to the valve train, but I guess just taking it apart and putting it back together kind of unstuck something. Hondas are bad about that with a sticky exhaust valve. It'll just bend that rocker arm to the point it breaks. That's probably the third one this year that had that pulling problem. Sometimes, like if it's Honda motors on a push mower like a 160 or something, these landscapers, they'll just let them roll around on the trailer and they'll just put a big dent in this valve cover, and that'll just barely touch the top of that rocker arm and hold the valves open just a little bit, and when you try to crank it, it'll just pop. So if you ever run into that kind of issue. All right, boys and girls, thanks for watching another Tom Nuvy video. Honda GCV190 on a pressure washer. Whatever we did, we fixed it. Got it to where you can pull the string now without ripping your fingers off. Well, y'all be good, boys and girls. I love y'all, man. We will catch y'all on the next one. Y'all be good.